Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 were absolute masterpieces. The games were ahead of their time. Then Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater came along, a game that redefined what it means to tell a story through a lens of a console. Today, as a remake is around the corner, I embark on a journey to dissect the masterpiece that it was and build some excitement for what's to come. So stick around please. At the dawn of the Cold War, a lone operative is sent into the unknown on a mission that would define the fate of nations. Metal Gear Solid 3, which I'm going to now refer to as MGS 3, introduced us to Naked Snake, a character whose journey of betrayal, survival, and rebirth would carve the foundation of the legendary Big Boss. Through the dense foliage of its storytelling, MGS 3 crafted a narrative that was rich with intrigue, emotion, and a profound commentary on the nature of the war and loyalty. You know, I gotta be honest, playing this as a teen, it really gripped me. It was pretty damn heavy and emotional at times, and I definitely didn't expect that going into a video game. Now, MGS3's brilliance wasn't confined to its narrative alone. Now, the game introduced survival mechanics that I felt were way ahead of its time, blending seamlessly with stealth gameplay to create a proper immersive gaming experience. I mean, I thought video games had peaked back then, but MGS3, wow. I mean, MGS2 was absolutely groundbreaking for me, but MGS3 took it one step further, from the camo index that dictated your visibility to the CQC system that definitely revolutionized close combat in video games. You know, every element was meticulously designed to engage the player in Snake's struggle for survival. You know, even the healing system I thought was amazing. It was very John Rambo-esque, with the ability to hunt for your food and use them to heal yourself. I mean, I'd never done that in a video game before. You could even heal your wounds with medical supplies. Brilliant stuff. The game had everything in my opinion. However, amidst its triumphs, MGS3 bore a few smudges. Now, I probably will be in the minority, so just humor me please. The fixed camera system often wrestled control away from the player, and that obscured critical views, and it really muddled the navigation. Now, I did get used to it after a while, but given the location and the fact that you explore a huge jungle, it was really annoying at times. However, I know Metal Gear Solid Subsistence corrected this and it gave you more camera control, which is amazing, so please don't bash me in the comments. You know, based on the footage I've seen so far of the remake, I hope and I'm sure the camera freedom is going to be as smooth as butter, but yeah, I just wanted to point that out. I didn't quite enjoy this in the original. On top of that, while the AI presented a formidable challenge, there was a longing for more depth, for me anyway. Now, the enemies, although cunning, they did lack variety in tactics, I felt. Now, purely just because it is very, very open-ended, the game, the fact that you're in a jungle, just certain segments of the game felt more like corridors to the next cutscene rather than chapters of a living, breathing world. Now, I do get, obviously, it was a PlayStation 2, so the hard drive couldn't be pushed to its complete limits. The step up from MGS1 to MGS2, as far as the AI goes, was just outstanding. But I think because the game was still in the PlayStation 2 era, but MGS3 didn't really improve on this much, I felt. You know, again, I might be in the minority here, so I hope that for the remake, they do make the AI a lot more engaging, more smart, tactical, almost like playing a game of chess in the jungle. Now, picture this, a new version of Metal Gear Solid 3 that fixes the old issues and makes the game even better. Imagine having a camera, which I assume they will, that moves smoothly and controls that make it easy to sneak around, taking down enemies and moving through the jungle. Everything would feel natural and exciting. I honestly, genuinely cannot wait to explore the jungle. One of my favorite movies, random fact, of all time was Rambo, and everything about it was just gripping, and I guess this is as close as I'll get to it. I really can't wait for this. Now, with today's technological prowess, we do dream of an AI that not only challenges, but adapts, and it creates kind of a ballet of strategic warfare that keeps you on your toes. I assume, and I'm pretty much sure the game is going to do this anyway, but I thought I'd just put it out there. But what about the untold stories? The potential to explore untrodden paths, to expand on the lore of the boss, to introduce new missions that offer fresh perspective on Snake Saga. You know, what about the boss battles? There was no real build up to them. I just felt like you were just wandering around and then they just popped up. So maybe having some backstory, perhaps, that would be pretty neat. I think MGS2 boss battles probably had a level up in that sense, but if they could do this in MGS3, I'd be pretty happy with that. Now, my wish list stretches further into realms of fully dynamic ecosystems, right? And I know I'm taking it too far here, but I want the game to be about every creature, every plant having a purpose. You know, imagine a survival system that's not just about endurance, but about interaction with the environment in ways previously unimagined. You know, picture a remake where multiplayer elements bring the community together even, in co-op missions perhaps, or in a stealth-based competitive mode that tests your espionage mettle against others. I would probably suck at that, but you know, I'm asking for too much, I guess. Kill me, but it's a video game. Now, with this envisioned future, the remake grows with its audience, in my opinion. A platform for the community to contribute, whether through custom camouflage, shared tactical challenges, or just direct feedback, shaping post-launch content. This could be a game that not only pays homage to its roots, but branches out. It could be the Resident Evil 4 remake of the MGS saga, but in my opinion, Metal Gear Solid 3 was well above the original Resident Evil 4, so if a remake will come to fruition, I can imagine I'll be playing it for weeks upon weeks.
Who wants a
Metal Gear Solid
3
3.
in the morning?
Metal Gear Solid 3.
So this is a very small insight into what I feel Metal Gear Solid 3 should bring. The fact that I've actually not gone through that many changes, any flaws, shows you how good the bloody game was. I honestly, looking back on it, I mean, I was going to pick on the camera, but they did rectify that in Subsistence. But other than that, other than the AI, I thought the game was a masterpiece. So other than that, I genuinely don't have any other quarrels about the game. The game itself is a legacy. So as we stand on the precipice of a new era, the potential remake holds the promise to not just reignite the flames of nostalgia, but to kindle a new fire that burns brighter. You know, what features do you dream of seeing in the MGS remake? How do you envision this classic redefining itself for the modern age? Because we know obviously now there's a huge gap between the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 5, so there's going to be a few things that are going to be amplified, but I'm still keen to hear your thoughts. If you disagreed with anything I've said, please let me know, and please, for the love of God, let's pray that we get a Metal Gear Solid 2 remake. My life would be complete when that happens. And if you enjoy this video, do consider subscribing.